the victims of his neglect. Here are the unemployed wandering about, seeking work and finding none. Over there yonder are the wretched criminals cradled in crime, passing in and out of prisons all the time. And then we have the daughters of shame, deceived and wronged and ruined, traveling down dark and blind to an early grave. There are the children fighting in the gutter, going hungry to school, growing up to fill their parents' places, brought it all on themselves, you say? Perhaps so, but it does not excuse our assisting them. You don't demand a certificate of virtue before you do something, before you drag some drowning creature out of the water, nor the assurance in a man of faded grace before you deliver him from a burning building. But what shall we do? Be content with singing a hymn or offering a prayer, giving a little good advice? No, 10,000 times no. We will forgive them and feed them and reclaim them and employ them, and perhaps we shall fail with many, quite likely, but our business is to help them all the same. So let us hasten to the rescue for the sake of our own peace, for the sake of the poor wretches themselves, and for the sake of the children. And as I read that address, I am encouraged, especially to be part of this club, because we're not just content with talking about the circumstances of the world. We're actually doing something about it. And that gives me pride to be part of this Rotary Club. God, thank you for this opportunity to come together and serve your children. May we never forget the opportunities that we have, that we don't ever see them as a burden, but that we see them as a challenge to serve those who are less fortunate, hoping that maybe they won't remain less fortunate. And in the opportunities that they have, they would turn around and give that to others in need as well. Thank you for this club and each person that's a part of it. May this season remind us of the blessing of your arrival and the blessings that we have to draw breath this morning. May we do something with the breath and the energy and the life that we have for someone else. In your name we pray, amen. And thank you.
Thank you, Captain Barnes. And since we are going to have our own Judith Pinkerton providing us with some Christmas music on her violin later in the program, instead of a patriotic song right here in the program, because it takes many hands to make all this work, and because some people may be reluctant to reach out to other people who would make wonderful members of this club and be helpful, we'll just do a little recruiting message here.
Meet David. David has been thinking about joining his local Rotary Club, but he's got some reservations. David's got questions like, is Rotary membership right for me? Or do I even have time to be a Rotarian? Let's explore the top 5 Rotary membership myths exposed. Myth number 1, Rotary is only for business networking. While Rotary was in fact founded as a professional group, its purpose has always been centered on service to the community and in fact the world. Both the personal and professional contacts that you will undoubtedly make are just a wonderful side benefit of joining Rotary. Myth number 2, Rotary is just an old boys club. There was a day when Rotary was comprised of just local businessmen, but that was long ago. Here's the bottom line. We're simply looking for high-character men and women in our community that want to serve. Myth number 3, Rotary is expensive. Actually, Rotary membership fees vary from club to club, community to community. Some are as little as mere dollars per month. Myth number 4, if I can't make the meetings, I can't be in Rotary. Rotary is about serving. If you want to help us serve the community, but just can't get to regular meetings, your local club will absolutely find a way for you to participate. Myth number 5, I just don't have time to be a Rotarian. Did you or does your business have 2 hours per month to contribute to the community? We can show you some reasonable goals and examples of how to get yourself involved in Rotary inside of your busy schedule. So you see, David did have some concerns about joining Rotary until he heard the whole story. Don't let these myths stand in your way. Start your Rotary journey of service right now. Because the world needs Rotary, and Rotary needs you.
Thank you. And with that, we'll go to the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance. Thank you. And you may grab your seats. And thank you in particular to the people who set up for today's meeting, Kathy Mayon, Tony Barnes, Susan Ziobro, to Bill Steeren for acting as our Sergeant at Arms today. I think I saw Chase Carter. There you are, up on the screen. Thank you, Chase, for being our scribe today. And I see our paparazzi is wandering around the room with her camera. Thank you, Tina, for doing that again. And to Kirk, Alexander, and Stu Lipoff for providing our AV support today. We appreciate all of that. Do we have any guests or visiting Rotarians? Bill, could you take the microphone over to Tony?
Oh no. How do you do?
How do you do?
Well, I am pleased to announce we have, I think, two, I know definitely one, prospective members on Zoom. Our first one is an RI lead, and forgive me, Nasad, if I mispronounce the last name, but it's Asad Nawaz. We see his name, but we don't see a picture. Rosalie and I have had an opportunity to interview him, and we will be talking further in hopes that he will join our club. So, hi, Assad. Is Jared Kavanaugh on there at all in some name or other?
Hello, everybody.
Oh, there you are. Jared also came through our website. He and his family have settled here. He's retired military, and we will be interviewing with him on Monday. So, thank you for joining us.
Other guests?
Hi, right here is Victor Aguilar from Ensenada Todos Santos Rotary Club in Ensenada, Mexico, a founding member of the club and president-elect.
Hello, Rotarians. I'm Susan Ziobro, and I have a guest today. My guest is Allie Creed. Allie has a local business here in Las Vegas. It's called Allie Fitness, and it's downtown in the Imperial and Main Street area. And Allie, do you want to say anything?
Thank you for including me today. I'm excited to learn more about what you guys do, and yeah, thank you.
Good afternoon, fellow Rotarians and guests. It's past President Russ Swain here. Grateful to be here, and I'm so honored to be able to introduce my guest today. It's Todd Walter, and Todd is the Scout Executive for the Las Vegas Area Boy Scouts. And let's welcome Todd. He's also a 10-year past Rotary member in Florida. So welcome, Todd.
Thank you. Oh, sorry.
Pause and smile. Oh, I was. I swear.
Oh, sorry. Mike Ballard here. Oops, we gotta move. I have as my guest John Miller. He is a business consultant, and he starts a lot of banks, and he's on the board of Lexicon Bank here in town, and he's visiting with me today.
Any more guests or visiting Rotarians? Well, in that case, let's have a giant round of applause for all of our guests and visiting Rotarians. And moving on to announcements, I see Jim Hunt on the screen, but I also see we actually have a live representative of the Wheelchair Foundation here today. Would you like to tell us where we stand on giving away wheelchairs?
Well, at this time, I believe we're somewhere close to 100 wheelchairs out with the Rotary, hand delivering them. And I'm working with, right now, Richard Harris Law Firm. They're going to purchase some wheelchairs. And we have an ad going out on Channel 13 with Trisha Keene. So, and the Rotary is going to be a big part of everything. Thank you.
Great.
President Richard, just so you know, we've actually delivered about 40 of those. We have about 100, but we've delivered 40 of those so far. So we still have plenty to deliver.
Super. And Bill, do you want to take the microphone over to the birthday table and introduce yourself and any other birthday Rotarians?
Well, President Richard, this may take a while because the group composes of two people.
How's it going, everybody? My name is Austin Wyrick. For those of you who haven't met me, I've been a fellow Rotarian for all of about a month and a half now. It's been a really exciting opportunity to be here with you guys and to really get to know you. I really look forward to meeting some of you. Yeah, that's it. Thanks.
Thank you. And I be Bill Steeren. Some of you may know me, some may not, but a little personal history. I can still remember my first job. I was a waiter at the last table, at the Last Supper.
And Bill, I think we have actually three. I see Michael Gordon up on the screen. Michael, can you unmute yourself? And
yes, thanks, President Richard. Michael Gordon here. I'm happy to be part of this old boys club because I hope that one day when I'm as old as Jerry Engel, I still have the fortitude and strength to stand up on a ladder in front of other people and travel the world. So if that's what it means to be part of an old boys club, I'm happy to be part of this club.
super. You know, while we've got you unmuted, do you want to tell us a little bit about a recap of the Santa Claus event last week?
Yes, our 25th annual Santa Claus event, our silver anniversary. We had the largest group of kids ever in our 25 years, 360 kids that we served, thanks to all the time and donations from everybody in this club and the other Rotary clubs in Southern Nevada. So thank you all, and get ready for December 2nd, 2021, hopefully with kids, for the 26th annual Santa Claus.
And to give equal time, Ginger, did you have something to tell us about Santa Claus?
I don't have anything to add to what Michael's already said.
All right, not good things come in threes. Jim Hunt, did you want to tell us about Santa Claus?
Other than it was just a terrific success, I commend everybody that came on board this year, you know, Michael and Ginger and Dan and David and Howie for really stepping up and making it happen when we had a lot of unknowns of how we were going to pull this off without the kids there. We had a few glitches, but it all came together great. Can't be happier to have the new team on board. Thanks for everybody.
Thank you. And the other big event this past week was our holiday party, which went from being a live party to being a virtual party to being I think, a fairly successful party. So, Janice, would you like to tell us about the holiday party?
Thank you. So I'm going to talk about, excuse me, both events. First, with the holiday party, the virtual Chinese auction. I just really want to thank Rose for coming together with me, and we provided a lot of the basket contents and the themes, and for giving us all the supplies to make the basket and use of her home. And thank you to past President Jackie, Kathy Mahon, Tony Kern for donating baskets and items, and Rose and past President Jackie for helping me the evening of. Quite comical, but thank you so much. And then Stu, my partner in virtual world, thank you so much. We did a lot of dry runs and putting things together. And I have to tell you, Richard, I remember him saying this, it was so funny. I call him up and we're like, after the new restrictions, I'm like, Richard, we're gonna have to cancel the live party. He's like, yep, we are. And I said, okay, let's get our money back. He's like, okay. I said, we're going virtual. And he goes, we're going virtual. So Richard, you have been just such an amazing, supportive president in being available for our meetings and our walkthroughs of both events. And just thank you so much for being so available all the time. And then the virtual auction, thank you to everyone who donated items. That would be Katie, Kathy Mahon, Tina, Barbara, and Dale, Pete and Pam, and Tom Thomas. And if I'm forgetting anybody, please forgive me. Thank you so much. Between both events, our total profit was $4,600, just shy of our original goal of $5,000. First time doing the virtual. The virtual auction, there was a lot of great things. There was a lot of expensive items. It was fun. It was, I got a lot of feedback, a lot of positive feedback, and we appreciate everyone's support. And I also want to thank Sylvia Wolf. She couldn't stay, but she was my coordinator at the auction house, and her husband, Dutch, just came in before we started and gave us a cash donation of $120. So that was really nice. I think I've got everything. Thank you. Oh, I forgot. I knew it. Susan was the winner of was it the trivia contest? The trivia contest. So we have your Lowry bucks. So we'll just give those to her. That's right here.
Well, thank you, Janice. I think everybody involved in putting that party together went well above and beyond in terms of being flexible. And I'm happy to see some of the faces up on the screen. As some of you may know, the after-party drinking event, since nobody had to drive home, everybody was at home already, went for many days. And I'm glad to see that everybody has recovered. At this point in the program, I am really thrilled because, as you know, our club added a corporate membership opportunity so local corporations could join and send representatives if their president couldn't come to every single meeting. And it's taken us a couple of years to roll it out, but here we are. Today, we are going to roll out our first corporate membership. So, Tony, if you'd come up and do that.
Okay. I'm going to try to stand this way so our Zoomers can hear or see as well. So it is with great pleasure that Tony and I welcome our two individuals today, part of West Care. We have another person that will be done at a later time, but today we're going to induct our two members that are here to enjoy their welcoming to the club. So I'm filling in for Kirk Holmes,
And I'd like to just read to you a little bit about the gentlemen that we're inducting, Scott Falconberry and Andrew Moran. This is a little history about them. So Scott Falconberry is the Chief Development Officer and Senior VP of West Care Foundation with a variety of responsibilities in the area of funding development, cultivating relationships leading to a successful fundraising career. Before joining West Care, Scott served as Vice President of Advancement at Carson Newman University in Jefferson City, Tennessee. He holds a BA in History, Pre-Law from College of Charleston, and has served his country as an officer in the U.S. National Guard. He is a member of a number of fundraising organizations and a variety of other organizations, demonstrating his dedication to civic engagement, and a longtime member of St. Andrew's Angelical Church. Andrew Moran, who we will likely see most often at our meetings, is the Director of Development for West Care and currently responsible for overseeing fundraising projects for Nevada, particularly the new West Care Women and Children's Project in North Las Vegas. Andrew has worked in many community-oriented and hospitality positions throughout his life, most recently as owner and operator of an ice cream parlor. Yay, we're expecting you to serve us ice cream someday. During his lifetime, he also partnered and supported nonprofits in his community to raise funds and awareness, and has always enjoyed focusing on helping others. He obtained a BS in psychology and has worked as a psychosocial rehabilitation specialist, and has been involved with Canine Companions for Independence, Ronald McDonald House Charities, Salvation Army, Women's and Children's Alliance, and West Care. He has had what he has called an unrelenting lifetime interest in helping others.
This time, we would like to have each of the gentlemen just say a little something about their joining before we do their formal presentation. So, Scott?
Thank you, Tony. On behalf of our CEO, Dick Steinberg. Oh. How about now? Is that better? Thank you, Tony. On behalf of our CEO, Dick Steinberg, and our board of directors, one of which is here in the room, Russ Swain, we'd like to thank you for extending us this opportunity to join the Rotary Club. We're excited. The nice thing about this corporate membership is we have the opportunity to ensure that we're actively engaged because of the option for alternates. So we're excited about that. The invocation, I thought that the invocation, it was really well done, and the words that you spoke really reiterated to me the reason why we are joining here. As a nonprofit organization, our mission and our values and what we stand for and what we do on a daily basis ties directly into what the Rotary is all about. And we really appreciate it, and we're excited to be here.
And now, Andrew?
Hi, thank you. I'm Andrew Moran, and I want to just say thank you for welcoming me. I really appreciate the opportunity to be part of such a wonderful organization. I've read about the rich roots that it has in this community since 1923 at a chocolate shop at the Golden Nugget. It's just amazing how everyone in this room has a desire to better themselves and better the community. The last two meetings that I went to, they had speakers that were just amazing. And the speaker today is amazing as well. Opportunity Village has done so much. And I just, no, and our mission is uplifting the human spirit at West Care. And I know your guys' mission is educating and helping the community. And so I'm just glad to be a part of this new relationship. And thanks for letting me be here.
Since I have a lot more words to say, can you hear me okay with this, or may I take this down? I can read it this way? Okay. All right. Fellow Rotarians, it is the duty of our Rotary Club to add new members from time to time, so that we may not only increase our usefulness and influence as a club, but also to extend the spirit of Rotary throughout the community. Today, we not only accomplish that goal, notwithstanding the challenging times we are facing, but in the true Rotary spirit, with the sponsorship of Kirk Holmes, who's in absentia somewhere in Cyberland, and the commitment and passion of West Care Foundation, we welcome and admit our very first corporate membership into our club. This is indeed a special moment and the beginning of what Rosalie and I, as the current directors steering the membership committee, a new direction to be added to the scope of our club. It was perfect timing, perfect timing. Corporate membership allows the club to involve a corporation or any business, nonprofit, or government entity in Rotary by offering an alternative to our traditional membership. The corporate member for West Care Foundation is its CEO and president, Richard Steinberg, who will be visiting our club after the first of the year for a more formal corporate induction. And today we have the honor of introducing into the club two of West Care's corporate representatives, Scott Falconberry, as you've now been introduced to, Senior VP and Chief Development Officer, and Andrew Moran, Development Officer, both here today. And in absentia, I may mispronounce his last name, Kenneth Ortbals, Executive VP and CFO, who will jointly or individually join us at our meetings and activities for service and fellowship. There is also a fourth, Leo, and I'm not even going to begin to pronounce his last name, but it's got a lot of syllables and consonants in it. So we will have his induction when he comes as well. West Care has selected each of you to serve as a representative of the corporate member, Richard Steinberg, invited to membership in this club because West Care and our Rotary Club believe you to be worthy representatives and possess qualities that will permit you to exemplify in your public, business, social, and private life the true spirit of Rotary, which is inherent in the West Care vision of uplifting the human spirit. We welcome your strong arms and hearts for service in joining the club to engage in Rotary International's current theme, Rotary Opens Opportunities. As a corporate representative for West Care, you are being admitted not only to the Las Vegas Rotary Club, but to a worldwide association. And by virtue of corporate membership in the club, you will be welcomed into the fellowship of any Rotary Club in the world. When we join Rotary, we become part of something bigger than ourselves. The honor and privilege of Rotary membership of all types carries with it duties and obligations. We look forward to West Care's attendance through its representatives at the club meetings, performing in-club service, and to place your knowledge and talents at the disposal of the club in its tasks of carrying the principles of Rotary into the daily life of the community. Lastly, but by no means least, is our ideal of friendship. As you expect to receive, so give. May you be stimulated by the friendship you find here, and may we in return know you to be an added source of strength to our club. The pin you receive is a symbol by which your fellow Rotarians and the community at large will recognize you as a Rotarian, and we ask that you wear it proudly. On behalf of the Las Vegas Rotary Club, the greatest Rotary Club in the world, all right, its board of directors and membership at large, we welcome you both as representatives for West Care Foundation, the first corporate membership of the Las Vegas Rotary Club, and declare you inducted into our club. Again, paparazzi, did you get it? My hand is here. Thank you.
Thank you so much for that.
Richard.
And next, I see Jamie up there on the screen. My understanding is you've never gotten a speeding ticket and you never will.
I wish.
Why?
I wish I was in Nye County at the sheriff's office, and when I left, I was going like 20 miles over the speed limit. And I said, I better slow down. I don't think I could talk myself out of this one. But anyway, so I want to say thank you to Richard and the club for your continued support with the SOAR committee. We have had a very unique experience due to COVID-19. We've actually been going to the departments. And so it's really opened my eyes to exactly how much the honorees and the commanding officers and everyone really appreciates the recognition. To my knowledge, there is nothing else like this in Southern Nevada that honors first responders in the way that we do. We were actually at Las Vegas City Hall on December 3rd, honoring the Department of Public Safety Marshals and Corrections Officers Division. And Stu was nice enough to put together a highlight reel from that event. So Stu, if you want to roll the footage.
Welcome to the 20th Annual Safety Officer Award Recognition Ceremony, also known as SOAR, for the Department of Public Safety. My name is Jamie Goldsmith. I'm the chair for the SOAR program, and we are sponsored by the Rotary Clubs of Southern Nevada. At this time, I'd like to show you just like a quick little film describing what our committee is, what we do. The first Southern Nevada Safety Officer Award Recognition Ceremony, or SOAR, was held in June of 2000. The program was created through the Las Vegas Sunset Rotary Club by then-President Janie Lynn, along with retired Captain Bob Woodward of the LA County Sheriff's Department. The goal of Rotary International is service above self, which exemplifies everything our first responders are. The Rotary Clubs of Southern Nevada are proud to continue this legacy through our annual SOAR ceremony, honoring the everyday heroes that serve our communities as first responders.
I'm sorry. Anyway, what an exciting day for all of us who are part of this community to recognize such wonderful heroes who've meant so much to this community and the families, your own families that you support. But really what an honor today, especially in the city of Las Vegas, for all these men and women are part of our team in the city. And it's a grand day, but the legacy of this program, Jamie, is so meaningful because it says so much to the future generations of what giving of yourself and taking that risk and doing something at the last second that was called to you to each do and make a difference in life. And we are so proud of the awardees today and everything that they have not only been recognized for today, but for every day that they are and you are giving to us here in our community. You're leaders, you're exemplary, and it's a wonderful time to thank you so much and honor you. I know when you were called to do this extra duty and save the life or save the potential life, it really was showing something that none of us know what we will do in a moment of panic or urgency. So thank you, and thank you for holding this once again here in our wonderful city hall and in Las Vegas. And Rotary certainly has been exemplary all these years. So thank you so much, and congratulations to all of you. We're so grateful.
Chambers filled with
all the different departments. So we have departments from Las Vegas to North Las Vegas, Boulder City. We're going to Nye County tomorrow, actually. We honored people from Mesquite. So the program booklets, which each of you have a program booklet in your packet, it has all of our honorees from 2020. And then next year, we want to invite you back to be recognized at our big ceremony with all of the departments present. So please like our Facebook page, Southern Nevada SOAR. And you're welcome to steal pictures off of there, tag them if you want, whatever you like. So thank you so much, everyone, for coming today, and thank you for your service.
Another round of applause.
And thank you, Jamie, for sharing that event year after year. And I think the fact that you're never going to get a speeding ticket from a Nevada police officer is only a tiny recognition of all the work you've put in. Thank you again. Captain Barnes, I saw that you sent around an email to all of our club members asking about volunteers to pack toy boxes. Would you like to say something about that?
All right, everybody. If you are sitting around with nothing to do and have done all your Christmas shopping and are just sitting home bored, any day next week, we are doing a distribution to 1,000 families, which equates to about 3,000 children next week. On Monday, we'll be packing bags that we're going to be giving out to families as they drive up Tuesday. On Tuesday, we'll be distributing those bags, at the same time packing more bags to give out Wednesday, so on and so forth until Friday is done. Anytime from 8 to noon or noon to 4, we have shifts for volunteers to come and help us execute Christmas and give that out to the families. So if you have some time in your hands, I think an email went around, or it will be going around if it hasn't already, and you could just let us know. There's contact information on that email just to sign up for a shift if you are available. Again, 8 to noon or noon to 4, Monday through Friday of next week. Thursday afternoon is pretty well booked, but everything else is wide open. So if you're willing and able and want to come do something that just makes you go home and feel wonderful about what you did, come on down to the Salvation Army at 2900 Palomino and help us give out Christmas and pack Christmas for these families. Thank you, and that's all I have.
And now the moment you've all been waiting for, the weekly raffle. Yeah. The winner of the pot, the chance to draw the Joker, is someone here in the room. Sorry to everybody who's up there virtually who bought tickets. 848-9583. Eight four eight. But you didn't get your money back. Right. And for the Lowry Bucks. Oh, that's also somebody here in the room. 848-9517. All right, Deb. Well, now you'll have to come back from North Carolina. And it does look like we have just a minute left to do a fine. We haven't done very many fines recently. And I think, did I see Kirk Holmes up there on the screen at one point? Oh, well, you know what? We were going to fine him in absentia for not being here for the induction of West Care. And I'll ask you guys for an appropriate amount to fine Kirk. I was thinking we took 360 kids shopping we heard about, and we provided about $200 worth of clothing to each of those kids. So somebody who's a banker maybe can check me on my math, but I think that would be a fine of $72,000. All right, Kirk, if you're hiding up there and can still hear us, thank you for your contribution. With that, we will go into our speaker. I'm sorry, you're right. And so to introduce the speaker today, Judith, you are going to provide us with some Christmas music. Thank you.
In the spirit of the season, I just wanted to acknowledge President Richard for sparking yet another fabulous study that's going to get done. University Medical Center has indicated they are very interested in having a music study as a result of the study that you sent to me called Music Matters for the Mind, issued by AARP and the Global Council on Brain Health. And as a result of that study, it also suggested, and along with 17 recommendations about how to utilize music based on research, it said more research needs to be done. So University Medical Center has stepped up. Their research council has requested that a music study be put together that can serve up to 3,500 employees. So for the very first time, it's going to be online and accessible. I've never heard of a study being online and accessible in a music evidence-based research study. So we're really excited about that. In the spirit of the season, I hope that this music will allow you to connect with the child that you care for.
Judith. Your beautiful music embodies the reason for the season. This lunch has been really wonderful because at this time of year, we're all thinking about blessings and gratitude. We're marking the end of a year that's been very difficult and looking for opportunities to share and give with others. And when we think about organizations that embody the spirit of this season, we've heard from several already, Westcare, Salvation Army, and Bob Brown runs an organization that embodies everything there is to be about this season, the giving of others. The clients at Opportunity Village are adults, but they still have the innocence of children. They still show the faith, the courage, and the compassion that for some reason as adults we find more and more difficult to possess and to show. I'm grateful that my friend Bob Brown could be with us today to talk about what Opportunity Village has been doing to serve these special clients that they have during a most difficult time and how they've been succeeding at serving this very precious society that we have in our community. Bob Brown.
Thank you, Tom. I really appreciate that introduction, and I'm just so grateful to be here. You know, this is my favorite speaking engagement. It's coming to talk to you Rotarians. I tell you, I get to do one of these a month or two of these a month, and every time I come here, it's like coming home. So it's good to see all of you, and I appreciate you all, and thanks for the work that you're doing. You know, the one thing that I could say to you that I want you to remember is thank you. Thank you. Thank you. I work with every nonprofit in town, and I'm telling you, it's tough out there right now. And I just appreciate the fact that I'm in a room full of people that understand that and are doing something about it. So thank you. Thanks for that. Give us a big hand, because you deserve it. Okay, we could skip that screen. We already got through that. So Opportunity Village, I mean, most of you know us by the Magical Forest. I'm not going to go through the whole rigmarole, but obviously we didn't do the Magical Forest this year because you couldn't invite 6,000 people, mostly kids, and have them run around and bang into each other. And we would have the Super Shredder event of the century. So we had to call that back. And so we're on to the next slide. That's what it looked like in March. And let me tell you something, when you get a call from the state of Nevada and they tell you you got to shut down and you got 750 employees, that's a gulp, okay? That's a big gulp. And it was a tough day. But, you know, we went home, had a couple of bourbons, and got back to work the next day. So, you know, we figured out that we had to change what we were doing radically and quickly. And so we'd already had plans on the books to do in-home service, but we knew we had to jump into it really fast. And so that's what we did. And so we started lots of new programs with our kids, and that is the next slide. The new programs that we started had to do with how do you take care of a population that desperately needs help, but you can't come in contact with them as a group. So we had to figure out ways to either do it by video, which a lot of us do in our businesses, right? So we had to make sure that we did that. We also did in-home services, but we had to do it so that we were taking one person from our staff with one family. And so doing that one-on-one, so there wasn't a lot of cross-contamination going on. And so that worked out really well. I can tell you that program's been very successful now. We're up to just about 60 kids that we're visiting. And this helps that family with the time that that person is there with them so they can go out and do something else. All right. And if you're a caretaker for a child, one of our kids, that is a very tough job. Some of you in this room do that. I do that. So that's my, we're going too far ahead. Go back. One more. This is Sarah Brown right there. I don't think I've ever had her on a slide before. That's my 33-year-old daughter who told me today, she said, I said I was going to go give a speech to the Rotary Club. And she said, tell them I said hi. So hi. we had to make sure that what we were doing complied with all the laws and we could find some revenue source for that. So we used grants, we used state funds, and we culled everything together, and we really, the staff came up with some great ideas, and we followed through on those. One of the most important things that we decided was that when people could come back, we set it in 2 shifts. And so we normally had 1 shift from 7 a.m. in the morning to about 2 o'clock in the afternoon. So now we have 2 shifts. One starts at 6 a.m. and the other starts at 1. So we have 2 groups that come in during the day so we can separate people, because that's the key. You can only have 25% capacity. So I've got these big buildings, and how do you increase your capacity? You separate and do more shifts. So that worked out really well, because we have some people that prefer to sleep in and come in the afternoon, and we have some people that want to get up in the morning and get right to work. So that's been terrific for us. The other thing that we did for the clients is we have a program for behavioral health. And we started that, it was in its nascent form, but because of the pandemic, we rushed it through and hired 2 people that were certified with the state. And these folks can go into a room and they can see a behavior from a child that is nonverbal, and maybe they're touching their ear, or they're grunting, or they're kicking, and they're able to really watch that person and figure out what it is that they're trying to tell you. And I'm telling you, that's been amazing, because we've seen some really just beautiful things come out of that. When you have somebody that is nonverbal and suddenly you have somebody working for you that can actually communicate with them. And that's been fantastic. So I'm really proud of the work that the staff has done, and it's really made a difference. The new businesses that we came up with, a lot of times when I'm talking to groups, I have to remind them that Opportunity Village is really 2 entities. It's an organization that cares for people, and it's an organization that runs businesses that hires people with disabilities. And both of those are housed within our walls. So when you see Opportunity Village and our shredding operation, it's a huge operation. We have these giant contracts, and we're working all over town, and you see our trucks driving by. But all that, the purpose of that is to roll money back into the operation so we can care for people that really need the care. And I don't have to keep coming out to you and saying, hey, I need money, which I'm going to do anyway. So what we did was we've always had a cookie program. Everybody remember our cookie program? Okay, so we had this cookie program, and most of you don't know this, but we used to buy the cookie pucks. So you buy a cookie, it's called a puck, and it's really hard and it's frozen. And you take the cookie puck and you cook it, and then you sell it. And that's how cookie businesses kind of work. Not a lot of people make cookie dough and then produce the cookie puck and then produce the cookies. A lot of bakeries do that, but on a mass scale, no. So we've been doing that for years, and we realized, there's only a couple people, and one's on the West Coast and one's on the East Coast, that make cookie pucks. And we can make cookie pucks better than that. So we did. And now we got delicious cookies. And I'll tell you, I'm a little upset because I'm standing here thinking I should have brought some cookies with me, huh? Because look at those. Aren't you hungry? So I will send some down for one of your meetings, okay? For the holiday. You'll see some show up at the door. But these cookies are amazing because we hired a professional chef. We came in, we work with the clients, we make these cookie pucks, and we have contracts now with a lot of the strip properties for cookies. And the only thing we're waiting for is tourists. So once we get the tourist count up, we'll be selling a lot of cookies, believe me. And so it's a great business for us. And besides that, what we figured out is because Opportunity Village is involved with a national network of people that do what we do, we're on what's called the Ability One program. And so we're able to contract products with the federal government. So we got on the procurement list for our cookies, and we just got signed yesterday onto the procurement list. So now, if you're a naval base in Hawaii and you want cookies, you can order cookies from Desi's Kitchen and we'll send them to you. And that'll really help us. I think that's probably going to be a $1 million business in the next 3 or 4 years. So it's been terrific for us. So the federal contracting is working on not only that front, but they also came to us with a contract to make cereal, super cereal. Some of you know what that is. It's kind of a granola-like cereal. And what the U.S. government does is they ship that to countries that are having starvation. And so it's something that you can ingest and small amounts, and it gives a lot of nutrients. And so now we're exploring doing the super cereal as well. So we'll have two things. And wouldn't that be cool if disabled people in Las Vegas are feeding people in the South Sudan? How amazing is that, right? That's really cool. So that's one of the next things. In media management, we just got finished working with the Secretary of State's office, and we digitized all the documents from the Secretary of State's office. We were digitizing land documents from 1867. Isn't that amazing? So we had really a great time with that, and the staff did a wonderful job with it. And then, of course, the cleaning protocols. Everybody's talking about cleaning. And so we bought all this new pandemic equipment, and because we had to clean all our rooms. So when we bring the clients in, you clean the room right after they leave for the next shift. We had to have really high-tech equipment. Well, we realized, we could run this stuff. And so now we've got a nice little business going where we go out to locations and clean for them. So we can clean your restaurant, clean your whatever you want to clean. It's got all the bells and whistles, and it's the pathogen system that goes through and just cleans everything off. So just finding things that we can do with clients, that the clients can do well, because that's the number one thing with Opportunity Village. We've got to be able to do it well. If we're not doing it well, I don't want to have a business that people are buying from just because it's a charity. I want people to buy from it because it works, and it's a solution for them. So it works out well. Okay, now we can now we can go to the next slide. So this is kind of Ovi by the numbers. And, Tom Thomas is my boss because he's on our foundation board and just one of the most delightful people in the world. He's my boss and my friend. It's great. But he loves numbers. Did you know that about Tom? He loves numbers. So we give him numbers. We're serving 3,000 people now. I think the last time I was here, I think it was 2,500. So we're up to 3,000. We started the year with 747 employees. I will tell you, we're not at 747 right now. We're probably at more like 650. We have 182 people that have a disability that we pay. They are staff members on our staff and work for us. So they're employees. And so we're spending just under $4 million going out to pay people with a disability. So that's a really, I think, incredible story to tell for people in the Las Vegas Valley, because that's money that goes into families and into friends and people that you know. We're currently up to 67 locations. So when I'm leaving here today, I'm going to stop by a couple locations on the way back, but we have locations all over the valley. And those locations could be, maybe there's 2 people there, maybe there's 40 people there. There's just a ton of them. I mean, we're at the SPCA, and we're at Red Rock Canyon, and we're at Station Casino, and, just all over the place. So it's really exciting making sure that, all those locations are safe, making sure that people are doing what they're supposed to be doing there. So it's a lot. And then currently, we have a lot of people, and we talked about this last time, who have sub-minimum wage. And there's a movement in this country to stop sub-minimum wage. These are very, very severely disabled people, okay? So we've gone through and we've worked with all of them, and we've taken 156 of them, and they've been able to transfer into a minimum wage job, which is incredible. And I really applaud the staff for that, because it's a matter of productivity and level and just really being persistent and understanding that they can do it. It's just a matter of just getting them to that point where they think they can do it, and then they know they can do it, and then they do it. And so it's really beautiful to see that, and we should all be proud of that. I still have about 300 people that are just so severely disabled. I just don't think I can get them to that level, but we're going to keep trying. And if it goes away, we're going to take care of them as best we can and try and come up with some solutions for them. So that's kind of where we're at. Some of the other things we didn't talk about, we do mailing, we do buttons, we got to touch about custodial, the documentation, and the assembly. That's the one thing, the one job that I'm having trouble filling right now is assembly. So if you have something that needs to be assembled and a large quantity of them, Like you have to take, let's say it's a bucket and you got to put 3 things in the bucket, things like that. That's the kind of stuff that we can do. Mailers, things like that. So if you have any jobs like that, you can just contact me and I will make sure that you get a great price and a good product. Okay, next. Okay, this is Betty's Village. And that's actually a picture that we took last month. So it's actually, I think the next one, it's even better. But it's coming along, okay? It's 81 apartments. Some are 1 bedrooms, most are 1 bedroom, some are 2 bedroom. And we've also got a house in there, 2 houses that will house 4 people with severe disabilities. Next. The reason for Betty's Village is simple. There were 400 people on the Nevada waiting list when we started the project. There's 600 now. This is going to take 81, right? I just said that. So we're just putting a little dent in the numbers. But whoever lives here is going to live the most amazing life because they're going to have their friends around them. They're going to be taken care of in terms of, you know, what their needs are, people making sure that they're okay. This does not go on out there in the real world, okay? There's a lot of stuff, I'll tell you, that I have to see that I wish I didn't have to see, especially in housing. So that's why we're taking care of it. So Betty's Village is going to be this epic, wonderful, amazing thing. And I've got people from all over the world that are just excited about the fact that we're building it. And they're excited about the fact that they get to come to Las Vegas next year and they'll see it. We will open probably in June of next year. Okay, so it's on its way, and the people of the world like Tom Thomas are a big part of why we have Betty's Village. So thank you, and thanks to any of you here that have given to Betty's Village or to Opportunity Village because we couldn't do it without you. Yeah, it's just going to be amazing. Next. Okay, COVID, I just wanted to talk a little bit about this. So people ask me, you know, hey, was that okay that the governor called and told you to shut down? You know, and I said, well, you know, I mean, at that point in time, we didn't have a lot of information and we knew it was this disease and we knew people were dying. So, you know, we think it was the right thing to do at the time, probably save some lives. But now we've been through this for what, 6 months now, 8 months now? I don't even remember. It's been so long. And, we're really good. We're really good at taking care of COVID. I get a message every morning. This morning I got my message and I have 41 people, 41 employees that have COVID. Okay. That's out of about 100, like I said, 650 people. But that affects about 100 employees because it's contact tracing. And so we make sure that we manage all that on a daily basis. And we're managing through and making sure that we're not short in any department and that our products are going through and that our contracts are going through. So it's a little crazy right now, but we're getting through it. And we've got a wonderful nursing staff of 6 nurses. They're working around the clock on the tests. We actually give our clients tests and we give our staff tests. We make sure that we follow up on that and we make sure people stay home when they're sick. And, you know, it's been pounded into them because, you know, with our population, they're very fragile. And if they get a lung infection, that might be the last thing they ever have. So it's been working out really well. And I just appreciate everybody reaching out and asking questions. And I get calls all the time from the community asking how we're doing. And I got to say, because of a great staff, we're doing really well. And, you know, again, Opportunity Village is owned by you. It's, you know, it's a nonprofit. It's a public entity. You guys own it. And so as a caretaker for that property, I got to tell you, you got a great team. You got a great team of people that are working their tails off. Next. So I want to include this. I think the last time we talked, I had this on the slide, but I have to tell you a little story. I was we're doing all these Zoom meetings now. Who's doing Zoom meetings? Huh? How much fun is that? Whoa. I have skill sets I had no idea I had before, you know. I can use a computer. This is great. Yeah, the thing about the staff is you start out with a message and, you know, you guys know that. Is it true? Right? You got your credo, you got your core. We got connections. Connections is the most important thing that we do. And the connection is, you're not taking care of somebody, you're connecting with them. Because if you're just taking care of them, then they could sit at a chair all day and do whatever, and you're just sitting there. But if you're going to engage with people, that's going to make the difference of a lifetime. And that's what we do. So starting with connections, working through to enthusiasm, because I don't want a lot of people, if you're connected with people, to be kind of dreary and sad. But talk about productivity, okay? We don't send our guys down to just sit there. We send them down to do something, because all of us in our lives need that, okay? Deep inside, we need to feel like we accomplished something. And so that's what's true of our kids just as well as anybody else. Stewardship, we're helping each other, and we're making sure that we're being responsible with the products that we have and with the people that we have. And then development, always constantly developing. That's why that staff, I'm so proud of the fact that that staff is so good, because they've been developed from inside. These are people that started out and they've worked their way up the ladder. And we're making sure that we're training and promoting people internally, so we don't have to be going out and hiring people from everywhere else. We can grow them from inside. And a lot of them are growing from inside, and they're going out to other nonprofits, and that's great. That's okay with me. Okay. OV way, very important stuff. Next. Okay, so essentially, I would say, even with COVID, we're stronger today than we've ever been. We're more adaptable. We're certainly more cost conscious. And we've been more thoughtful about how we care for people. So, as terrible as this is, when you're forced into a situation where you have to change, then you do change. A lot of us have. And you change quickly, and you find that a lot of it's for the better. Change is good. We're growing. Things are happening. So there's a lot percolating up at Opportunity Village. I will come here in 3 years, and we'll have wonderful stories to tell about all the things we started during COVID that are now flourishing. And it'll be just a great presentation, if I get invited back. Next. And then finally, what can you do to help? Well, you do it. I mean, I'm not gonna give you a pitch, because you do it. And looking at Richard and seeing all the people around here, and listening to that beautiful music. My mother was a violinist, and so it was like going home. Thank you for that. I can't thank you enough from the people of Opportunity Village for everything that you're doing, and just pleased that we're able to share with you and talk a little bit about what it is that we do. And now I'm going to take every question that you got until you're done, and you can put me on the spot. Yes, ma'am. Yeah.
Oh, sorry, can't touch it. Are there other opportunity villages around the rest of the country?
That's a great question. You know what? For years, I didn't know that there were. When I was at the newspaper, I thought there was just Opportunity Village and nothing else. There are actually a lot of organizations around the country. They're not called Opportunity Village. They're called different things. There's not one. There's one in just about most major markets. There's not really another one in Nevada. There's a small organization up in Reno, but that's a fraction of what we do. But to do all the things that we do, I'm going to go out on a limb and say most of them don't. Like, a lot of them will have our work center contracts, or they'll have rehabilitation, but they won't have our art program. They won't have. There's a lot of things that we do that others don't. But because what we do is we go out and look at everybody else, and then if it's really good, we bring it in. So we're really good at that. Oh, come on. Everything you ever wanted to know.
Since you mentioned music and the distribution of music, how important now is music and art to the programming at Opportunity Village?
It's vital, Tom. It's vital. And thank you for seeding that question, because he actually knows the answer. When you take a person who is nonverbal, just doesn't have any way of communicating with the outside world, and you can give them a paintbrush and they can paint you a masterpiece, what does that tell you? man, there's a lot going on inside, a lot. And so having an art program has really brought that to the surface for a lot of people. And our art program, I mean, listen, I'd fight you tooth and nail for that. I mean, that's worth every penny that we spend in that. And music is such an important part of that. And now we have dance, so people can express themselves physically, which they weren't able to do before. We have Zumba, we're doing karate lessons. I mean, a lot of this was, pre-COVID, but I tell you, the sky's the limit in terms of the things that you can do with people with disabilities, because, the only limitation is the human spirit, and that has no limits.
Hey, Bob, thank you for being here, and
Thank
I
you.
always appreciate your work.
Thank you.
So I know you love money, and money is what makes
I
things
do
work.
not love money.
Not you, but for the
Oh,
organization.
yeah, the organization.
Yes. So I say that, facetiously, but the landscape during COVID is impacting a lot of nonprofits, especially those unaffiliated with major organizations. So what's the reality like for Opportunity Village right now, and sort of like your outlook for post-COVID world?
Sure.
In terms of resource diversification and opportunities for getting more resources?
Yeah, on the short term, I would say a lot of organizations are in dire condition. I would not put us in that category, because we'll be, we're fine making payroll. We're drawing down a little bit from our savings, but one of the things that has been tough for us is you can't go out and find people that are going to sit with a client and really provide the care that you want. Now, I'm a parent, so my daughter's in the program, and I'm watching everybody all the time. So I understand, okay, if somebody's not paying attention. And I want everybody paying attention all day long. And so we hire for that. And we got a great staff. Now, COVID comes along. Am I going to just lay them all off? I mean, it took me, how long to figure? It took me like 5 years to get them, put them together. So we kept them. And we had attrition, which is why we went down. We didn't fight attrition, but boy, I tell you, I'll fight you for every one of those people, because you just can't find them out in the world. I mean, they're getting paid $12 an hour to work with our clients, and they're doing a beautiful job. So that's been tough. I mean, that's been the hardest thing for me as a CEO and all of you understand that. I mean, it's, everybody in this room probably had to lay off people, and we all get that. But those people, I really cherish, and I'm really taking care of, and I think we're going to steward them through. I can't say that for everybody, but that's the hardest part of the job.
Bob, did you have to reduce your pays to your clients?
What's that now?
All your clients have been paid, right?
Yeah,
In the
the
past.
clients that
Did you
are
have
being,
to
no,
reduce
the
it?
clients that are being paid, we keep paying. Yeah, if they're doing the work and they're there working, we're paying them. If they're not there, we're not paying them. I mean, I'm not,
At the same level.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Any questions from our people at home?
Thanks, Bob. I always see Bob. Bob's my PR guy. If you want to hear about me, just ask Bob. He remembers. He said, man, you used to have a lot more hair. He said, man, your hair was a lot darker. It was jet black at one point. Yes, it was when he first met me. The pain about getting old. Yes. Oh, come on. I won't ask you for money. Go ahead.
All right, so true or false, was Elvis Presley somehow involved with Opportunity Village back
True.
in the day? Okay.
And it was the Colonel, okay? Remember the Colonel, his manager? Okay, so the Colonel came down to Opportunity Village one day and bought a bunch of scarves. And he bought scarves for Elvis because he heard that we made scarves. And so suddenly our scarf business went through the roof, because that was like our shtick. So every time you see the Hawaii concert where Elvis is in the white jumpsuit and he's throwing the scarves out, that's us. That's money. Every time he throws that out, I'm thinking $100, $100.
Hi, Bob. Nikki Bates with Vegas PBS,
Hi, Nikki.
nonprofit as
Good
well.
to see you.
And I admire your ability
Thank
to
you.
find revenue sources. Okay, the sanitation thing, come on. That's awesome. You bought the equipment to sanitize and now you're going to use it as a business,
Right.
right? So any opportunity for revenue, believe me, we all look to Bob Brown because you're just it. But
It comes with the job.
yeah, really.
A lot of
right?
mouths to feed.
Yeah. How do you advertise these services that you offer though?
Yeah.
You know, throughout the business community,
Yeah.
your shredding, we've used your shredding services. I mean, how do you get this information out there?
Yeah, well, you know, so obviously we all use social media, and that's important for every single business unit. But every unit functions kind of their own marketing program, and you know, some people use a little bit of radio. We try and steal some wherever we can. We don't have the money to do like a lot of mass marketing. We got a website that we direct everybody to, and then we got a sales staff. You know, so our sales staff is you know, they're on the phones every single day, and yeah. So we're really set up to where we have a development department that goes out and does the fundraising. We have a sales staff that sells the business products. And then we've got a new development team that's working on all those federal contracts and things like that. So all these big opportunities that are coming down the line, that's a much longer cycle. So you need people that are much more professional and kind of have that level of expertise. But I would see Opportunity Village, you know, right now, you give me about, you know, if we didn't have COVID, we'd have been, boy, it'd have been a good year. That's all I could say. But we had COVID, so I can't say that. Thank you, everybody. I hope I answered your questions. Thank you.
Thank you. And Bob, before we let you get away, rather than give you something to put on the shelf to gather dust, instead we make a contribution in your name.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks, Mr. President.
Your smile for the camera.
I'm smiling.
Thank you. Well, thank you again to everybody that's been hanging in there and adapting and being flexible and keeping a good sense of humor when we don't necessarily get things right the first time, but we eventually work hard to get them right. And that is absolutely essential if we're all going to get through this with a smile on our face. So thank you. Thank you. We'll see you back here next week.